Hello and welcome to another episode of Put Me in Coach on episode 120 Diamondbacks versus Rockies Game 1. Lineup of the day, it looked like Gabe Moreno playing catcher, Ketel Marte at second base, Lars Newbar at DH, Max Kempler at left field, Tim Tawa at first base, and Ryan Wolfsmith at left field. I feel weird today. I don't know why. But yeah, I think that happened. Vargas and Jorge Barroso also came in to hit as well later on. Um, Top of the fifth, Vargas actually came in to play shortstop. I don't know what happened to Perdomo. It really exactly, maybe it's the thing where enough of we were winning a lot, or maybe there's something a little off of for Perdomo to getting out of the game a lot early than it is in South. But overall, than that, it's good to see Vargas just to play shortstop overall and stuff. Top of the ninth, Jorge Barroso came in to play right field over Corbin Carroll. Taylor Locklear playing first base. Fortunately enough for Tim Tawa was at first base, went to third base to take over Nolan Arenado. So that's basically that. Looking at the numbers, at the batting and stuff, not really. I would say there's more hits than enough. I think the rest of the people did not get base hits. Perdomo, Lars Newbar, Max Kempler, and Tim Tawa, and the rest had actually more than one hit and stuff. Ryan Wolfsmith went 2 for 3. Nolan Arenado went 2 for 4. Sorry, I'm blabbing my words and stuff. Ketel Marte went 2 for 4. Gabe Moreno went 2 for 4. And the only person that only got one base hit is Corbin Carroll. So, and then Jorge Barroso even got a base hit. So it's good to see some relief hitters later on to get base hits as well. So it's a positive. Obviously we're playing the Rockies, but we got to understand typical things here and there and stuff. But overall, and then that it is a positive on offense, a lot of scoring, so that's pretty good. And so pitching wise, enough it is good to see of enough. Michael Soroka is back. Starting pitching and stuff. It's good to. We did not know how long enough of he was going to be out on the IL, so it is good to see him to have a comeback and stuff. He went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, struck out 4. Walked 3 and gave up no runs. So pretty overall good and stuff. I thinking it would be a lot better if he won more extra inning overall and stuff. But fortunately enough of that, it didn't really happen. But fortunately enough, going to a bullpen and stuff. I know I'm kind of skipping a couple things here and there and stuff, but I do want to talk about Zach Lytle and stuff making his first debut for the Diamondbacks. Obviously, I guess we made a somehow trade with the Nationals or something like that, and stuff. But it's good to see. I think we got 2 starting pitchers overall. Also, we got Santana from the Pirates somehow and stuff. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. I have a feeling these guys are gonna fit in the bullpen somehow. But fortunately enough, Zach Little, I'm sorry, not Little, Lytle, pretty much is the only person came in for bullpen. And he went 6 innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 2, walked 2, and then gave up no runs. So fortunately enough, for the only thing for these 2 pitchers to go out there and dominate and giving up no runs. So it's pretty good on that. The Rockies pitcher, Gabriel Hughes, is that how you say it? I don't know. 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, struck out 3, walked 3, and gave up only 7 runs. So, I don't know. I think it was I think he did the best he can overall and stuff. He didn't do the worst, but a lot of runs is overall than that and stuff. I think the walks pretty much eat him alive and stuff. But fortunately enough, I thinking, the Diamondbacks offense just were on him overall and stuff. But overall, a great matchup over Michael Soroka in a way and stuff. So that's pretty much of that. We're gonna go scoring. Fortunately enough, there's not. There is a lot, but fortunately, I take out the boring stuff, and generally, so these are the ones that are going to talk about, and also all of them are going to be Diamondback scoring because the Rockies did not score at all. So that's that. Starting off with Nolan Arenado with a grand slam, with making it 4-0, bottom of the first. Corbin Carroll with the RBI double to make it 5-0, bottom of the second. And then Gabe Marino with a RBI double to make it 9-0, bottom of the eighth. And that is the final score. The Diamondbacks did win with the 9-0 score. Their record right now is 64-56. So we are still going up there, keep winning. And so I think we're still matching up with the Phillies in the wild card and stuff. Cubs, they're doing their thing as well and stuff. So positive things right there and stuff. So that's good. I don't know what to say with progress. They just keep winning. Love to see this offense just keep going and stuff. I understand enough of there's other players on offense is not doing so well, but mostly times enough of they do tribute to the team to do good. Being oh man, I always have a hard time saying this word all the time and stuff. It's having the word just popped out of my head right now by just thinking about it and stuff. But sometimes enough, it's weird with your mind enough to figure things the words out and stuff. And the word what I was trying to say is having patience to the play and stuff. And I think that's a huge thing. So fortunately enough, not just going out there, just getting base hits. We got to understand enough of not swinging at bad pitches and stuff. So that's a huge thing, and we got to really a liability with that as well. And fortunately enough, Kendall Marte is the person it's actually doing that pretty well overall, especially enough of he's not really swinging that much, but fortunately enough, he is doing a better swing overall. I understand enough of I've been hating on Marte's swing, but it is getting a lot better. So something is changed. Something is going to be different from him and stuff. And if he does keep up with this, I think Marte is going to do a pretty good job and stuff. And I think that is pretty much it on offense and stuff. So yeah, we're gonna have here and there. Offense not gonna be perfect every single time, but still positive. And I'm not gonna say anything about pitching overall. It's just say there's only 2 pitchers and they did great. So that's pretty much of that. MVP for this podcast is going to be Nolan Arenado with that grand slam. Really helped for us and stuff. This is his 10th MVP on this podcast, so good for him and stuff. I'm thinking he is like tied with Corbin Carroll, I think, with the MVPs and stuff, and I thinking like Ketel Marte has like 11 or maybe 12 or something like that. So they're really neck to neck and on MVPs on this podcast. I don't know. I'm being very nice to them in a way to get some of it, but those are the people are absolutely tributing and making a difference for the team and the game overall and stuff. So that is pretty much of that, and they just keep going. This is what we gotta do, and they are making a lot of progress, and they just gotta keep going with it and stuff. It's good to see good baseball from the Diamondbacks. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.